you'll talk to some people who are Jewish. They'll say, I'm Jewish, right? Adam will say, I'm Jewish. I'm not really Jewish. I'm more Jewish.
Yeah, same.
But you have that, the watered down, Christians, Jews, and Muslims.
Exactly.
Okay. However, which one has more radical, true believers of their faith? Okay. So forget about the 2 billion. Forget about the 2.1 billion Christians. Forget about the 15 million Jews. Forget about, all those that we can go through. Which one has a bigger percentage of true believers that they have fully bought into their vision long term and they're imposing, they're driving?
Yeah.
That's the number you got to look at, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I haven't done any intensive study on Christians who are devout Christians, but you have a revival happening right now. You're having a revival where the youth are not just nominal Christians. They are being sparked up to be on fire for Christ. So this is why I say I can't really give you a number if there are more zealous Muslims than Christians, but to say that in recent times, because of recent events, the Spirit is moving in such a way that I'm also astonished, seeing the hunger among youth to want to now come back to their Christian roots. Or even, by the way, you're having an explosion of converts of Islam in Muslim lands. They even say that the church is exploding in Africa and in Iran. They go, there are a lot of Iranians who become Christian, they're underground. But even with that said, when I say Christian, see, this is, again, we have to be fair. They're converting to a variety of forms of Christianity. Some are becoming Mormons. Well, do we consider them Christian? Right? Jehovah's Witnesses or oneness. So to say how many are zealous, I'd have to look at the statistics, but from my own experience seeing online, I'm seeing the youth come in droves on fire to reclaim their Christian faith and on fire for Jesus. I'm seeing it. When I was doing it in the late 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't the way it is now. So the YouTube is having not just YouTube, but you get what I'm saying, having a huge impact. It is causing people to look into Christianity, and I am seeing a lot of Muslims leave Islam for Christianity, but I am seeing people who convert to Islam, but those are the Christians, and I have to say, very poorly catechized and being given a sanitized version of Islam. Because I've interviewed people who said, I became a Muslim 5 years ago, but then I found such and such, and I saw, and I was shocked that this is what Islam teaches. I can't be a Muslim anymore. Because they give you a sanitized version of Islam. See, the difference with Jesus Christ, here's the difference. The more you get to know Muhammad's teaching, the more repulsive it turns out to be. The more you get to know Jesus, the more irresistible he is. The more you fall in love with him. He is beauty in the flesh. If you want to show a person why not to become Muslim, just compare Muhammad to Jesus. Because Jesus makes everything else look ugly. Because he's just beautiful. What can you say bad about Jesus?